Hi, it's Tess, and today's tip 402, and we'll see how this goes because I flipped my phone around because yesterday I was forgetting I have a book. Today I'm going to talk about the story you tell yourself and how that is impacting your journey. And just a reminder, I've been reading this book, Money and the Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks, and I have a new way to do my reading lately. I was laughing yesterday, but I'm using a lap desk and I'm actually listening to the audio or the audible at the same time I'm reading the book, and that's been really helpful. Well, what I saw yesterday is it was talking about what I've been reading in this book is it's talking about the story you tell yourself when it comes to your weight loss journey. And more or less, every part of our life is impacted by the story we tell ourselves. And the story we tell ourselves, it involves all aspects of our life, whether it's wellness, whether it's our body shape, size, flexibility. It's because of the family I came up in. It's because of this. It's because of that. Our work life, our financial life, our money, our assets, how people treat us, how we treat others. Everything boils down to the story that we tell ourselves. When you give the credit or the blame to another for your success or lack of it, you are powerless to make any change. And what was really interesting and kind of helpful to me when I was reading the book this morning is that, or listening and reading the book at the same time, kind of keeps me on track and keeps me moving forward. But when I was reading it today, it kind of pointed out that when we are young, everything that we do is looking for approval from someone else. We're looking for approval from our parents, from our teachers, from our siblings, from all the people around us. I have wildness today. I'm backwards. But anyways, everything we do in our life is pushing us to seek someone else's approval. And I think what we often aren't recognizing is that all of our internal journeys or our internal guidance or our guidance from God, our connection is different for each one of us. We all know we're different. Some of us can eat different foods. Some of us can do different activities. There needs to come a point in time, and maybe this is what happens for many of us and probably what happened for me. I didn't recognize the shift to where I had to start listening to my internal guidance. And I see someone on with me. Good morning. But that was a big thing for me. I was always seeking other people's approval. I was always seeking to make other people happy. It's not that I want to live a selfish life, but to live the best possible life that I am here to live, I have to seek inward my own inner guidance, and I have to accept responsibility for the things that are happening in my life. If I want I need to make an absolute promise to myself that when I'm making decisions, I'm looking on the inside. I'm looking at my internal guidance. I'm communicating with God, and I'm finding the path that I'm to go so that I'm not looking to the outside. Because in all honesty, it's really not fair to look to that outside person. They don't have your connection with God. They don't have your inner guidance. They might not know what your gift is or what your special reason for being here is, and you need to find that internally. It's inner guidance. It's that communication with God, and they have the best of intentions, but ultimately it falls back to us. And I know that I've always jumped on stage and wanted to seek everybody else's approval, and then I would fall deeper if I didn't think it was enough, or I didn't think it was fast enough, or I think there was a breakdown between what inside of me really felt my inner guidance was telling me to move towards and what I thought everybody on the outside world wanted me to do. And there is that disconnect, because if we don't move from that place of trying to keep up with other people or trying to seek other people's approval to recognizing that we have an inner guidance, that we have God telling us and guiding us, and follow that path so that we can move forward, we have that breakdown, which causes us to fall into those places of despair. I know that almost 6 years ago, whoa, I have all kinds of stuff on here. Almost 6 years ago, this was me. At the time I had that surgery, I mentioned yesterday again that all I wanted was 10 years of an active life. All I wanted was 10 years back in my life. I know that now in this journey, it doesn't have to be just 10 years. It can be for the rest of my life. What I've accomplished in 6 years is a lot more than what I even hoped for at that time. But what I've had to understand and what I've had to learn is that as much as I want everybody in my life to be happy and joyful and reaching for everything that's important to them. The best gift I can give to them and to myself is to understand that they have a journey to walk, an inner guidance, a conversation with God that will direct them to where they need to go. And I have my own inner guidance, my own conversation with God, my own direction that I need to follow. So each of us needs to disconnect from that trying to seek another person's approval and do the inside job and totally, completely, powerfully commit to connecting with who we are on the inside so that we can follow the path that we're on. Because what I will say for me now that I am connecting with what is inside of my heart, what my inner guidance is, what the conversations with God is directing me to do, is that I'm happier. I'm moving forward in ways that I didn't even realize existed. And I'm living a life that feels good because it's going down the path that I was always meant to go down. So if you are struggling and you keep giving credit or blame for your story to someone else, recognize that you're not following your inner guidance. You're not having that conversation with God. You're following the masses, almost like that Keep Up with the Joneses, instead of recognizing inside what that beautiful gift is that you've been given. It's back to the Les Brown. Don't take those gifts to the graveyard with you. Your story is inside you. Take some time, quiet time today. Take a walk. Spend some time in nature. Do some meditation. Do some journaling. But get back in touch with you and your story. And we're all here to help each other. And I love sharing this journey with everybody that I've been sharing this journey with. It has truly been eye-opening and helpful to be with everybody and to have all your support. I really love and appreciate that, but I also know it's an inside job. So we all have our hand out to each other as support and comfort as we try to find out who we are on the inside and keep pushing forward for the best and what we were put here to do with our life, to enjoy, to learn, to grow. Again, 6 years out and I'm still as engaged in this journey as I was in the beginning. I'm learning more than I learned on day one. I'm enjoying this. And I hope for you that when you start to reach in and look at your story, the inside story of your life, that you're finding the same passion. And I think you will. When you really reach that inside person, that inner guidance, that conversation with God, you'll find that the journey feels really good. And it makes it just a little bit easier to follow your story instead of what you think other people feel your story is. Have a beautiful day and we'll talk soon. Oops, it doesn't.